Cam is in the back. If you see the black drum right there and go down to the trombones, he is the one with the white and gray hat on. Whoops.
I was like, I'm still listening, so I must have heard almost all of them.
Thank you so much for your patience. This next part of our concert is one of my favorite things. I do this every year. Most years I try to put it into my own words, but I'm really bad at summing it up. So there's this guy, his name is Jack Stamp. He was one of the best music educators in the world. And he would travel around the country, and he would do concerts with bands that are called all-state bands. All-state bands are like high school kids that are selected throughout whatever state they're in, and they get together, and it's like the top of the top high school kids. And he would do this thing where he would talk about why music matters. So I'm gonna read his, I listened to his recording and I just wrote down what he said. And I think it's really cool. We're gonna do it for you while I read his words. He said, I get tired of hearing people talk about how band in particular is easy. It is not easy. My feeling is that we have our priorities out of whack. As much as I love sports, sometimes I think in our school system, sports take precedence over academics. And while sports are important for a lot of factors, they're not as hard as it is to be in band. I think about a good batting average is 300. That's 30%. If we played 30%, how would that sound? Not very good. And in football, there's built-in failures. They call it an incomplete pass. We can't have incomplete E flats. And we don't get 3 chances to play it. We can't punt in the middle of a piece. Now granted, the difference is we don't have anyone trying to stop us from playing. So you do have that in sports contests. But let's go to academics for a minute. You have to realize that music is one of the few things that these students do that uses both sides of the brain. The left side of the brain is dealing with all the technical stuff. You see they are reading a foreign language. So this really develops language skills and reading skills. They are turning this code, as someone once told me, they are turning something that is black and white into beautiful colors. That's one thing they do. The other technical side is dividing. They are doing math the whole entire time. How long is this note? The durations are fractional. They are dealing with that the whole time. They are dealing with the technical aspects of their instrument. What fingers do I put down? How does their embouchure shape to make the sound? Much more than that, they are seeing if they are playing in tune or not, and they are playing in the right style. And in other words, are they playing notes short enough, long enough, connected enough, loud enough, or soft enough? Now we aren't going to deal with all that with all those aspects. We are going to deal with one aspect, right and wrong. So what we're going to do is demonstrate what the band would sound like on a small passage if we were operating between 90 and 95%. Because of the odd number of notes, some of them are above 95% and some are around 90%. But we are going to play for you a short chorale. First we will play it correctly, and then we will play it for you at about 95%, which in most academic classes is an A. So here's the chorale correctly. So all we're going to change is each student is going to play one wrong note. That's all we're going to change. They're not going to play it bad. They're not going to blast it loud. They're not going to make it out of tune. All they're changing is if it's the right note or the wrong one. Okay, here we go. This would be an A on our math test. So you see, music demands perfection. Now we don't always get there, seldom do we get there, but it's one of the few things in their lives that demands they be perfect. So what you heard was 70 mistakes. No student made more than one, but 70 happening at a 95% success rate. Now I can't stress this enough, when you are in band, you are learning skills that will help you succeed, not just in the band room, but in life. These young people on stage are learning to persevere. They are learning to do hard things, and they can do hard things. They are learning time management. Some are even learning the value of peaceful protest. These are amazing human beings in the future of our world. And if the future of our world is in the hands of people like this, I am real comfortable with that. So parents, thank you for supporting these students. Thank you for supporting them in their musical endeavors. We would like to finish our program with these three pieces. The first piece that we're going to play for you is entitled Cyclone. And I have a student that memorized the definition of cyclone, and she is very excited to share it with you. So here is the definition of cyclone.
A system of winds rotating inward to an area of low atmospheric pressure with a counterclockwise and clockwise circulation of the pendulum.
Mommy, last year is band 22. And that's the band 24. Sorry, my throat's really dry. So what's cool about this band
is that it's made mostly for 8th and 9th graders. So beginners out here, there are kids in this band that were in your beginning band last year. So I'm going to talk about a thing that sometimes comes across at your home, and it might start to become a little bit of a swear word, and it's called chunks. And chunks are a really, really cool tool that we use here. Chunks are levels of exercises that start at the easiest level, and they get harder and harder and harder and harder to help keep the kids pushing to get better and better and better. They become swear words when your child waits until the last week of the term to turn them in, because they are pass or fail. If a student plays Mary Had a Little Lamb, I have to say 0, try again, because they have to be a certain level of proficiency. They have to be about 85% to pass. So how it works is students that pass off their bronze level before Christmas break go from beginning band to concert band after Christmas break is over. So any beginner that just played can pass off their bronze as fast as they want, and if they do it before Christmas break, we put them in the concert band, which is our intermediate band. If a student passes off their silver levels, they can then have the opportunity to be in symphonic band. And then there's gold, and then there's platinum. If a student passes off platinum, you can, if you want to, after the concert's over, you can come peek in the band room. On the wall, we have a bunch of blue plaques. They're plastic, but they're laser engraved with the cool laser engraver machine our librarian has. If they pass off all of their chunks before they leave 9th grade, I laser engrave their name on the plastic and I put it on the wall forever until they tear down Lake Mountain. So that's what chunks are about. So if your child starts to complain about chunks, you just need to go, it's okay, Johnny, go do it, because it'll make them better. Don't let your child wait until the last week of the term, or then it's going to become a swear word in your house. Cool? Okay, awesome. This next piece that we have for you, it's really, really cool. It's by a composer named Brian Balmages. He's kind of like the other, he's kind of like the Beethoven of concert band music. He writes a ton of really good stuff for younger age groups. And this piece is entitled Jungle Dance by Brian Balmages. Jungle Dance. All right, before we get to our last piece, I wanted to thank two people. The first one is my wife. During the fall season, I help with the marching band and I have regular band. And some days I'm gone from 6:30 in the morning until 6:30 at night, sometimes even 9 o'clock when it's a late night. And so in the fall time, we call it she's a band widow, because she just sees me when I'm sleeping and that's basically it. So would you guys help me? She's up there in the red shirt chasing our children around. You guys give her a big hand. And I think my daughter just fell and bonked her head, so we might hear something. And then the other person is Mr. Mark Whitaker. Is he still here? Mr. Whitaker, he's right there. Mr. Whitaker is one of the best administrators I've ever worked with. He gets it when it comes to fine arts. Whenever, like the whole planning around the school, when we were starting the school, we basically made the schedule around the fine arts, all the math classes, so that way everything would work, so we can have products like this and we can have a really good program. And whenever we need something, he always works his best, he's always listening. So without him, this couldn't be what it is. So let's give him one more big hand. All right, the last piece that we have for you. Sometimes we like to give our songs funny names like in class. The real name of this one is called Dominion, but we call it Dumb Onion. That's what the for junior high kids, right? Okay, so here's our last piece entitled Dominion by Randall Standridge. Sorry, Randy Standy, not Randall Standridge. That's You're welcome. Okay, here we go. Thank you so much for coming and becoming a fan of the concert. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time to back it up! Back it up! Back it up! Back it up! A wiggle, 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 a wiggle with a jiggle, a wiggle, jiggle, jiggle, a jiggle, wiggle!